Welcome back to Jock Floyd on food. Sunday roast time. I've got 2 kilos of Aberdeen Angus topside here. So what do you do with that? Because a lot of people would try and roast it or pot roast it, but there's a lot of times it will come out tough. But this way that I do it, it's an ancient recipe of mine from about 35 years ago. And it's guaranteed to work every time. So with 2 kilos of topside, which you can get from any supermarket really, and then I'm going to just cover it and finely chopped garlic. And this recipe is unbelievably easy. Even Harandoers can do it. So that's the garlic on. And then once I've done that, all I'm going to do is just top up with some salt. And then quite a lot of black pepper, brown pepper. And then once it starts cooking, you can smell it coming through the kitchen, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And this will go in the oven for 3.5 hours, believe it or not. So I'm just wrapping up. I've got a double layer of tin foil here. So that's it wrapped up. And then I'm going to stick it into this tray, into that tray, and then I'll put water into the base, and I'll just keep on topping this water up ever so slightly during the cooking process. But I start it off at 200 degrees for the first hour, and then I'll knock it back down to 150 for the other 2.5 hours. And I'll stick it in the oven now, and we'll be back later with the result. Next part of the Sunday dinner here with the beef, I'm going to do some homemade Yorkshire puddings. So we've got 2 eggs into the bowl. And I'm going to whisk these eggs up. And then add the flour, and then I'm just going to slowly mix the flour in. Put 2 eggs and 120 grams of flour. And add some milk. Semi-skimmed milk. And then you can really sort of beat it in well. And as you can see, the lumps are coming out. And some more milk. And the consistency that you sort of want it to be is like a double cream kind of mix. that. So that was about 200 ml of milk, 2 eggs, and 120 grams of plain flour, touch of seasoning and salt, some pepper. Now the beauty of this one is, this Yorkshire puddings, is because the beef's in the oven and it's quite a lot of steam created in the oven with the beef because it's in a bain-marie and water, and it's good for making Yorkshire puddings, believe it or not, and they come up really good. Now the secret with Yorkshire puddings is to get your tray, and I heat it up top on the stove first. I've got an old tray underneath and then my Yorkshire pudding tray on top with some oil in each little dish, and then you pour in your Yorkshire pudding mix, so you've got the cold hitting the hot, then it bubbles up like that, and then I'm going to stick it in the oven now at 180 for about 30 minutes and they should be perfect. There you go, it's the Yorkshire puddings out of the oven, half an hour at 180, absolute beauties. As I said, the steam helps when you're cooking the beef to get the perfect result. Can't get better than that. Now here's the beef out of the tin foil on the board, steaming, absolutely beautiful. And then we'll move along here. If I go into the tin foil, I've got all the juice from the beef, which I'll add. And I've already made half a pint of gravy, and then I'll add this juice to the gravy, and then I'm going to thicken it up with some of that lovely Bisto, and then serve it. So there we have it, and I'll show you the beef when I cut it. Now look how tender this is. Nice, crumbly, tasty beef, absolutely gorgeous with these beautiful Yorkshire puddings. And it's so easy to make. And then we've got the gravy, which is across here, which I've just thickened up. Beautiful. And I'm going to serve this with mashed potatoes and cabbage. Another wonder.